Okay team, so welcome to episode 1 of, I haven't really got a name for this YouTube series yet, but we'll just call it Fit for Rocks Meets for now. So the purpose of this is we're going to be travelling to see other big Hyrox athletes within the UK. We're going to train with them, learn a little bit more about their space, learn a bit more about them, so we can kind of humanise them a little bit more. I think everyone sees what people are doing on social media, thinks they're full-time athletes, don't have jobs, don't train. Let's learn a little bit more about them and what a day-to-day life looks like for them. Exciting first episode. We are heading down to the Bournemouth area, and this one's a little home away from home for me because we are going to train with Mr. Tony Revell, who is my doubles partner, who I'm hoping to break into the Elite 15 with this season. So we've got actually a double training session planned for today. We're going to be heading down to the track for the first session, and then we're going to be doing some work down at his gym, the Rev. Come join us, we'll see what we can get done, alright? Athletics
Just say that.
Plonk it in.
Non-rack members. There's no things, is there? No lines.
I feel we're staying warm for a bit. It's like trying to talk to someone who's underwater. Where are you still at home?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Are you still at home?
No, I am at the minute.
How far do you live away from the athletics track?
15 minutes.
I knew this was going to be one of them, and it wasn't like something you could legitimately do. Jump in the fence when we're trying to film the YouTube channel. It is open. I'll go and start stretching and stuff.
I should probably, because I've got very tight groin.
Yeah,
so
well,
I may be nursing my groin.
Yeah, well, we don't need to go like hell for leather, as you've got a comp next week and have ditched me. So we can we'll start at maybe 3:45s and we'll build from there.
Okay, I'm on my way.
All right, mate. Speak to you in a bit.
Cheers.
Got the warm weather gear on. Right. Trainers we're going to go for today. Very leery yellow ones, or speed demons. It gets to February at that point where you're like, I'm desperate for it to be warm again.
Would have been alright if I had a coat. Literally had it in the back of my car.
I'll tell you next time. So this one's normal deviates. This does like a half plate, like a power plate instead of like a full carbon plate. And they're much heavier. There's probably a little bit more stability in those than there are on these, but these will be a lot faster. You get not much more return off the track. I'm doing it on a treadmill. Is doing it on a track. So we need to get actually used to running. I'm just following along. Oh god, it's fucking freezing. I don't think there's ever been a less cooler looking athlete right now. The jumper, woolly hat, leggings, socks tucked in.
All the electric buddy. Playing up, the battery's no good. Yeah, man.
He needs the coat, mate. He's cold.
I'm the one that's free. He never told me we were coming.
I forgot to mention
Thanks,
that
mate.
we were going to the track.
Did you?
Alright, what have we got on plan? Well, let's have a little look, see.
They're worth more because I've had your stinker feet.
Right, so me and Big Tony today are going to be hitting, so we're both on the hybrid engine program, which is with Lauren Weeks and Anthony Pericini. They train like James Kelly, Kate Davey, Zara, like
Pretty much E15.
A lot of Elite 15 athletes. So we jumped on board and we're both busy people. We just need something to follow realistically. We don't have anything apart from that. So today we're going to be warming up. We've got 4 sets. It's a long threshold day, so we've got 4 sets of 7 minutes, which is probably going to be somewhere between 3:30, 3:40 today, probably for us at threshold, with a 1:24-minute rest. I don't know why the rest periods are set like they are, but they are. There's not going to be too much chat, and we're not going to do too much learning about Tony right now, just because basically it's absolutely freezing. So we're going to do the session. and then probably you're going to have a montage of the session, and then we're going to cut to hopefully a nice warm place that we're going to have breakfast. Ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it. That's track session done. For me personally, that was my best session since Australia. We did 3 lap warm-ups, 1200 meter warm-up. We did 4 lots of 7 minutes. We went a bit quicker than we should have. We're probably holding the average 3:22 pace. So just averaging 2.1k, something like that for the 7 minutes. About minute 30 rest, just under that. And then finished off with 3 laps and a cool down. You will notice I'm by myself. Unfortunately, Big Tony's bowels needed to be emptied. So he is going to meet us at the breakfast place, which we're going to head to now. We're going to go get some food and not an interview, but we're going to learn a little bit more about Tony. Hopefully not about his bowel movements, but we'll learn a little bit more about him, how he got into his training, what his goals are in Hyrox, learn a little bit more about the Revolution gym, which is the gym he owns, and then we're going to head to the Rev itself, show you around the gym, and do our second session, which is going to be a lot lighter after how intense that was. So massive thank you to X Endurance for sponsoring this YouTube series. You can check them out using the link below, and using my code Ciaran20 you can get yourself 20% discount. My favourite products are the hydro sticks. I think the raspberry one is probably one of the nicest hydros that you can get on the market, and electrolyte products you can get on the market. They also sell things like lactic acid buffers, energy gels, anything you need basically if you're a Hyrox athlete looking to take your supplement game to the next level. So check them out in the link below.
I'll take just there, buddy. I'm there, thank you. And then for my wife, my Valentine.
Second one today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
Easy.
I see. It's been in with his actual meeting.
Salmon and scrambled egg.
Yep.
Sourdough, please.
Thank you. Tough session, that. Did it feel tough for you?
Mate, tough. I'm gonna say, I think from the back of that, couple of weeks of training, and work, everything life's been busy. So like, we know it's the difference.
I literally said that when we finished, I said it's really interesting to see what actually someone who's been deloading, reducing their training volume, that would normally be me at like top end really struggling, and I was pretty cruisy there, whereas you're completely other end of the spectrum where you're kind of at the end of a really tough training block, coming into a competition and really, really struggling. And I think what that showed there, how important it is to understand when you're in those kind of positions, when you actually need, like if you didn't have a competition next week, you'd 100% need to be deloading right now.
Yeah.
For do a deload week or something, right?
Yeah. No, I think next week it will be cutting everything right back, minimal time, and hopefully then it comes back round. I wouldn't have hung on.
No.
We've carried on today.
Yes, whereas I could have done that, I could have kept going. That is nuclear colour, that.
That's just special little dude. No, it's like I said, I really want that European flag for the collection. It sucks that it's we've had to make the decision to drop you and bring Lee out for the day. But
tweaked my knee, and he's like, right, Lee, yeah, it's happened. Come on, I know you've been waiting.
But
so say like. Obviously, I've come down to Bournemouth today and train with you. I think you are, obviously, I'm very lucky where I can do all my work online and stuff like that. It's just from the time of coming in from the car, we've realised how many phone calls you had. Obviously, when we went away to Australia, I think a lot of people wouldn't know. They see you online as a bloke who does Hyrox in 50 minutes and doubles and does rapid singles times and all that kind of stuff, but they probably don't know about what you actually do for work and stuff like that.
So family man, I'm married, 3 kids. I run a family business. I took the pass down through, which is a demolition company. It literally consumes a lot of my time. I've got a great team around me with it, which does.
I saw you in your little video, like driving the lorry the other day, mate.
Right, yeah, like I say, we was down a lorry driver, so I had to jump in the saddle for the week, and like I say, I'm I think the higher up I've gone up the ladder, the more you become a skivvy.
And on top of that, demolition business, you also have the Rev. Obviously, you built that up. How long's that been going for now?
We're into our, I think, nearly 18 months now. We've been running the Revolution Gym, and that's awesome. Like, we're having great fun with that. I've always been into fitness, been into competing, and been an athlete, like through cycling, through.
So you did
motocross originally when I was a youngster, and sort of played at that. And then I got into cross-country mountain biking, which I went quite far with, and I moved up and I was at elite level with that until COVID came along and ruined the fun there. And
Game
I just
over.
never really come back from COVID after that. And then finding Hyrox, which again has been quite successful for me. Which off the back of that, we come up with a great idea to open a gym up and turn into becoming an athlete, and then getting on the other side of things and coaching and then sharing that passion with other people has been one of probably the most rewarding jobs in.
And you guys have obviously I've come down to the gym a lot recently, and I came to one of your sim days the other week. Like, you guys seem to have cornered the market down here, and so there doesn't seem to be a lot of other Hyroxy kind of stuff going on. And anyone who does Hyrox, obviously now you're building yourself up as a bit of a name within the sport, certainly within the UK, and people know you as like the guy who does Hyrox, right? And that's certainly only going to help develop the business and develop the brand down here, definitely.
Yeah, no, I think that's all part of it. What comes having that racing experience, having that you can then pass on to everyone else. Like I said, a lot of the guys in there have all competed as well. Our other coaches are all at a good level of Hyrox and have learned a lot about the sport, so they can give really informational advice to people, which I think is massive.
So then a little bit more maybe about like your journey within Hyrox so far. Like, obviously where you started, what your time was when you started, where you are now, and where you're hoping to get to would be really cool.
What do we? I think it's the four. So I've done 3 full seasons, and then on that. The first race was in the previous season, so
you didn't do the Vegas World Championships.
I qualified. My first race was the week before that. In London. That was my first. That was my very first race, and I jumped in there. I was training at a CrossFit gym, and sort of they just started doing some Hyrox stuff, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And jumped in and done a bit of Hyrox. Got a ticket for that London race. Went out there. I didn't really have a clue what I was doing, but like. Straight away, this is a bit of me. Like, my cardio base soon started to shine through. Come away. I think I've done a 106 in the Open. So
yes.
Yeah. But like I said, completely not having a club. I think I finished probably 5th or something. So relatively okay for what it was back then. And I was like, that was it. The bug was in though. So then I got the qualification for Vegas, and all the idea was there. I was like pumped for it. But then it was just not enough time, and realistically, I would have gone there and got absolutely buried, like I think someone else did on their first World Championships. So that was that. Trained all off season. Really started to have a bit of structure. Still just following like the gym's sort of training and jumping in, and then getting some running in. And then season 2 was a good season. That was my first full season. Was a good. I come off. I can't even remember the list of races, but that was it. I was hooked then.
That was Matt.
I think we met that year.
We met in Maastricht, didn't we?
Yes. Did we meet? No, I think we met in Birmingham first.
Yeah. Because
that was my second race. My second race was Birmingham, and this is where we met. And we didn't actually speak, but you were this tonsy bloody fart who was up there. I went off and I had the leading time. I was the first wave, and I was leading all day. My in the Open. I was like, this is good. I had a 59, 59.47 or something like that in the Open. I was like, okay.
And that was when no one went under an hour.
No one.
Well.
It was.
Like,
we
went under an hour. You were winning.
I think that was one of the top British times at the time in the Open. I was like, that was cool. I was like, I've got this. I'm taking the win today. And the very last wave of the day in that class, and then this very. String bean come flying in, and decided to pop a 59 something or other.
Yeah, 58 that was.
Oh, let's drop it in there. 58.
What's funny as well is you look at like the rules have obviously massively tightened up now when it comes to Hyrox. Look at like what you could do then in comparison, like the burpees in particular. At that point in Hyrox, if you touched the floor with your chest, came up and jumped, you get away with it.
Yeah.
But I looked at like my burpees from like that season, and I was literally like diving forward, and they were like, there wasn't really any rule placement, so you could get away with it now. So I look at my times in certain things now, and I'm like, I've got slower, but it's just because the rules have got so much stricter.
Yeah, there's definitely been. It's become a lot more professionalised. It's become a lot more regulated and regimented, which is it's cool because obviously the levels have gone up so much. It makes it a sport. If it's going to become its own sport, I think there needs to be this level of rules.
Like people earning money from different.
There's people making a living out of this sport now, which wasn't at the time. So yeah, I totally with the up of the rules and everything. So that's cool.
So yeah, Birmingham. Obviously, I think the first time we met was when you gave me a very dodgy fist bump on the podium as I passed you.
Yeah, so that was the first and second there, and that was where I went back to the gym where I was training at, and everyone gave me so much stick about this guy. I was like, this Betty guy beat me, and everyone wound me up so much. I grew this hatred towards this guy. I was like,
never really
arsehole. And I think if we come across each other anymore that season.
I think I messaged you before Maastricht because you were like, we're going out there, because I was like, that'd be a good competition then.
Yeah.
And then we had a chat in the warm-up area, didn't we? And were we in this? I don't think we were in the same.
No, I would have beat you at Maastricht, but I got lost.
No.
So there was.
There's a lot of this. I would have.
Yeah.
You didn't.
There was. No, I got to the race and then it was a dodgy
zone,
layout. It was a dodgy layout, mate. I remember. There's even a
seem to
picture
work
of me
fine.
stood in there looking for the road because it was tucked in. And then I run to the Elite 15 wall ball station and it's a terrible day. But look at this, mate. It's a bit of me. This is look.
Honky tonk.
Oh, the 15th. 15th of Feb. I'm all in, mate. Honky tonk.
We partnered up, didn't we, for London after that?
We did. That was where the idea of the doubles attempt sort of come from. I think we both realised where we were very similar in our runs and our station wise. We were always quite close, but the same style of athlete, very close like that. I think that's where things really start to shift.
There's something I said about my training day when people were talking, like, one of the things people said was, what are the tactics for doubles? And I'm like, it's just so dependent on what your doubles team is like.
Yeah.
Like, the benefit about us is obviously you are stronger than me, there's no denying that, but our running is very similar, which makes it so much easier to manage all the stations because we know we're going to run at the same pace when we come out.
I think the strength element though, like we make it work because you've got that cardio base, and we've just got such a good tactic base with it that even though I will pull, but I would then get that explosion. But with you can be very consistent with your pace, which gives me enough recovery.
What's the future of Hyrox for you, mate?
E15, mate.
Yeah.
That is the goal. Like it's been for the past couple of years, like a fingertip away. I've been creeping there, like on the solo. I think the highest I got up was like 25th in the ranking, which was it was close. But I knew like solo I was bitching away, whereas doubles, I think the recovery, everything really suits me well. And since we've started doing this, we're like, this is our goal, this is our game.
Because of where the system is. Whereas when I was away on holiday when the Elite 15 doubles got announced, and you and me both messaged each other going, that's us.
This is us. And I think, like you said, it's a shame it didn't happen in Oz. Circumstances didn't land on us.
It was
never going to be like, there was some mega competition there. The tables were against us.
What that showed us was obviously we had the issues getting there. So we got there 24 hours, 36 hours before the race in the end because of having to get stuck in Abu Dhabi. And they liked my breakfast.
Yeah, they were looking at look at his omelette.
Which is obviously an issue. And then me obviously having the knee issue after the sleds, and to still only finish 9 seconds away from being in that Elite 15. Is mental. So it shows we're more than capable of being at that standard, right?
Mate, I remember being on those lunges, and when we come into the lunges, I genuinely thought we was going to win. I was like, I felt so good, and we were in the mix, and they were all there, and it was going one way or the other, and until that point where it really went, and you dropped down, and we just kind of lost ground from there, which we did suffer. I think I got it.
Frustrating because it felt the first half of the race went pretty well,
once we got going, do you know what? We should have attacked harder. I think we should have. Again, knee factor was the biggest factor, but it was like the most intense testosterone-fueled start tunnel I've ever been in.
And we were at the back, weren't we? Yeah. Because normally you can weave your way into the front, but it was like a queuing system, so we couldn't do that. And I think we came into the ski about 6th. Bear in mind we started.
Then there was a lot of wildebeest in that start.
We started 50th, so we managed to make up. If it was Mario Kart, we were lovely.
Brilliant, thanks.
If it was Mario Kart, we made our way nicely to the front, and then from there, I think we were always in the top 5, I think, and the rower we came in second. We were looking good on the rower.
Yeah.
It was pretty much from that point onwards it started to go downhill, really. Not meant to be. But
I have no regrets. Like we chugged it out there. Like we just put
we had
ourselves.
good fun as well. It was a
We
good
put
trip.
ourselves on the line, and yeah, like I say, mate, it was a good trip. It was a lovely bit of bonding time. It was great fun, mate. And like
I think if we had gone out there was at least 10 teams that could have qualified right comfortably.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. There was, like I say, we had guys from the E15 spaces.
And we beat them.
Yeah, yeah.
I think if we had gone out there and we had finished 9th, had finished 2.5 minutes off qualification, I'd be like, maybe we're not quite at that level. We very much showed we are there. Things went against us. I think if it had been the other way round, and that race had been in London, in the same competition, because obviously there'd be different athletes competing, but the same athletes competing, we'd have won that by a minute. And I'm not being over dramatic, we would have. If you'd taken out, everyone else had to do the travel that we had to do and all that kind of stuff. I think it would have made a huge difference. But it was probably right at the end, wasn't it?
We were in the mix, so there was
second
4 of us were
yeah.
together the whole time. The 4 to 5 teams were very close, within 10 seconds of each other the whole time through that race. And it was only when it just at the lunges, everything started to stagger a little bit. The Belgian boys come through well. They were
video on the lunges of where I think where I passed the bag to you.
Oh, what then? You're led out like you've just been on a binge on a Friday night.
I was seeing like stars, and my knee was hurting. I was like, I don't think I can finish this. And then I remember getting to the wall balls and being like, right, you're going to have to start. And if I'm honest, I think you might have to do all 100. And then obviously once you've done 30, I was like, actually, I feel all right again now. I can do it. But yeah, I was like, and I was saying to you, if you do 100 unbroken, we're going to qualify. And you were like, I've not got it in me.
Oh, man. I know you don't always achieve every goal you set yourself out to be, but you've got to keep those targets high, and you've got to keep raising that bar. Otherwise, you will never grow in a sport. If you don't raise the bar and push yourself to that next step all the time, trying to chase it, you're not going to get there. If you're not always giving yourself a realistic, like you said, if we'd gone there and we was 2 to 3, 4 minutes back, I would be like, okay, maybe the bar has been put a little high.
Yeah.
But we weren't. We were there. We were in the mix, and I think we're very confident that our goal isn't unachievable. It's very close to our fingertips. So we've got to keep pushing.
We've got Miami. We've obviously got the opportunity to go to London afterwards. I think that'll be even tougher in terms of the competition that will be there. But we'll give it a go if we need to. If that doesn't happen, we'll probably be first reserve
in every race.
Every single race that needs be.
No, mate.
So we'll be ready. And look, as I said to you, I think the way the qualification is going to be next year, in terms of it being the same way as they're doing the Elite 15, there isn't any doubles teams that have stuck with each other like we have over the last year, who have as many qualification times, and we'll keep doing that. Obviously, we're going to try and do Glasgow in a month and so there isn't teams that are going to have that kind of bond and stuff.
Nah, bro.
Like we've said as well, we enjoy training together. We get on well. Our families get on, which is amazing.
Mate, you've become a lifelong friend, like without getting deep with it all.
It's not a case of
well, you know, mate.
It's not a case of we're just bringing someone up being like, do you fancy a double? You know what I mean? It will mean. I think it will mean so much more to us for what we've been through in the last year, 18 months, than anybody else who's just kind of qualifying just for a laugh. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, mate. It's 100%. Like we've chucked ourselves out there so hard that even for me, I think emotions will. Confident talk, but when we make this qualification happen, there's a moment now. Like it's going to be emotional. It's something we've committed so much of our time and effort. And
right, so this is what I've got. I've got 8 rounds for time. 1 kilometre assault bike. We'll do open weights. 1 kilometre assault bike. 25 minutes sled pull. 250 metre ski. 25 wall balls. But keep it all like green zone.
Why assault bike? Why don't we just go on a normal bike then?
Okay, we'll go normal bike. Yeah. Do concept bike. Yeah, do that. And then I think that'll be like 60 minutes or something. But we're working through some good ranges of motion. I want to make sure I'm doing wall balls or lunges at least once a week. Right, I'm going to pay. I'll get this. And
thank you very much.
I might get some kind of energy beverage or something again before the next session. Would you like one?
Beverage.
Yeah, why not, mate? Monster me up.
Drink my cheap coffee.
That was the notorious kettlebell. It was a kettlebell. So in the pro race period, I won solo this year, and Ciaran had already gone out. He went in early, nicked in on the Friday because he had a DJ on Friday, which is a lot easier to slide apparently. So
he tried to get in and get a quick time on the old pro, and then we all big boys went out on the Saturday.
I was second overall, I think. Wasn't
Big boys went out on the Saturday night, and I was in the mix. It wasn't like it was out of the blue, and then it came into the kettlebells. I picked up the 24. Accidentally, obviously, but once I started sending it, it was too late to go back, and I couldn't do anything other than just carry on with the kettlebells I had. So I raced and I ran through the partner's carry with the 24s, which was quite quick.
and how much time did you beat me by?
I actually beat you by about a minute.
No, it wasn't. It was like 10 seconds.
No, with my penalty, I still beat you.
No, you didn't, because one, you didn't get a penalty.
I like, because it was
Apart from being, apart from your name dragged through mud.
to the kettlebells, I had myself in, I
You did not
completely
beat me by a
admitted
minute.
to the wrong
You beat me by
kettlebell.
10 seconds, which would have been the difference between you
Nah.
picking up the correct and the wrong kettlebell.
Not happening.
She pulled up man. Bitches on by the time
Hold about 2 minute pace on here. 3, 2, 1, let's go. That was zone 3, hitting zone 4 at times on that. Yeah. My chin has rubbed so much on that wall ball. I like catch it because I put my chin on it like 3 points of contact. I think that's it for today. That was a really solid day, mate. Thank you for having us down and showing us around the gym.
Coming, mate.
And we're going to have another episode in 2 weeks from the release of this one. We're hoping to head down and train with Elite 15 athlete. See a little bit more about her training, her recovery, and what it takes to get into that illustrious Elite 15 that myself and Tony are looking to do. So that'll be next time. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like, share it, comment below, all that YouTube stuff. This is all new to me at the beginning. And hopefully we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you, guys.